great.
I know that you're looking forward later in the show to a meeting, well, you've met him already, but to talking with Buddy Rich, who's one of your great heroes.
I'd have swept the studio to have been here tonight.
I know you were delighted when we told that he was on. But I mean, you're an incredible musician yourself in the range of instruments you play. But you also, I know you like observing other musicians, and you've had an awful lot of chance to do that in your time on the halls. What are the worst musician stories that actually happened to you? Because I love musician stories.
Well, I mean, they're lovely, but some of the chaps that used to play in the pit orchestras just did it for pin money, really. And the Musicians' Union at one time, they had a ruling that, like in a summer season, if there was a band, say, at a seaside resort, they couldn't fill it with what you call session musicians. That, say if there's 11 musicians in the band there, that 3 of them at least must be employed locally. Otherwise, they put the local lads out of business, you see, which is fair enough. And on this occasion, it's at Margate, and the drummer was one of these lads. And he was a local fellow. He'd be about in his 50s or so, and he'd got one of these big drum kits with black velvet over the front with a sunset painted on it. And the opening of my act was I used to go to each musician, sing a bit, and they had to copy me. So I go to the drummer first. Right, then he's got to play that. Then I go over to the bass player. So we got the 2 going, and then you go over to the saxes. Right, they join in. Then trombone. Then strings. There's only 11 in the band.
One of each.
Right, yes. Piano and everything. Right, and then at the end, of course, I sing the phrase. I've got it all going. I sing the phrase to the trumpets, which is... Right. And they used to wave a white flag. So that was where we went into it. Then it's somewhere there's music. Right, so Margate, I went to this chap, and I said, right, here we go, straight away, on a hi-hat. Diggity-bong. And he went... So I said, no, hold it, wait a minute. Yes, no. I said, it's the hi-hat. It's the hi-hat I want, not the bass drum, because the bass drum, you know, it was wow, blah, blah, blah. So I said, hi-hat, please. He said, right. So I said, no, I don't want the bass drum. Not the bass drum, please. It's the hi-hat, just the hi-hat. That's all I want, nice and quiet on the hi-hat, not the bass drum. Boom, 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 boom. So I said, do you mind? I'll just come and show you. So I went and I sat down. I said, this is it. It's just... Diggity-bom. Right.
What? Okay.
I went back up. I did the same again. And he went... I said, no, I don't want the bass drum at all. There's no bass drum on the music. I don't want the bass drum. Just the hi-hat. That's all I want, the hi-hat. And he looked me straight in the eye, and he said, listen, mate, I'm delivering milk at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I said, well, why didn't you say? Just leave me 2 gold tops outside the kitchen.
What about pit orchestras you work with? You know,
I've got to tell you that on the Monday night I went to him and I went, right, are you ready? Rum, bum, 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 boom. And he went,
Of course he did. Sure.
Thank you.
That was marvellous.
Too quiet, though.
Too quiet, you
Low
thought,
down.
yeah. It is a physical thing, I was saying earlier, I mean, it really sort of hits your big band.
Yeah.
And the sadness is you can't reproduce that sound through the speakers at home
Records,
at
no.
all.
No, excuse me. You have a lot of trouble with musicians, don't you? And dogs.
Right? Yes, right.
I didn't hear the end of the story about the guy with the bass drum. What happened?
Oh, yeah, well, when it was...
The bass drum.
Did you hear when he said that he's delivering milk at 5 o'clock in the morning?
No. Who was?
Well, it's a long story.
No. Now, where have you been since the last time that you've been on the show? You've been touring all over the place,
Yeah, we've
haven't
been
you?
all over the place.
All over the world.
We left here last year. We went to Japan. We were over there about 5 weeks. Came back home and did our usual summer tour. Which takes us all over the place.
You've been to Afghanistan as well, haven't you?
Well, that was a long time ago, Michael.
But that's an unlikely place for jazz, isn't it?
We were the first jazz band ever. We were sent over by the State Department at home. And we did a tour about 5 months and played most of the depressed areas in the world. Got to India. We played 3 nights in Kabul in Afghanistan. Then went to India.
What were the audiences like in Afghanistan?
Different.
Different?
Yes, very different. We played a thing called the Chechen Fair at the time. This is 1970. And we were the first musical thing to ever happen. And the people from Pakistan and the Afghani people, they come down from the hills and they're still wearing turbans and they come down on horses. We had 30,000 people at the fair the opening night. And since they weren't too familiar with westernized customs, instead of applauding at the end of a piece of music, they hum. They make a sound like that. If you can imagine 30,000 people.
And you wouldn't know really what they were saying, would you?
No, I thought perhaps they were coming up after me. I didn't understand.
Is your band, your big band that you take around the world, is it in any sense a kind of musical crusade as far as you're concerned?
No.
It's not?
No.
It's not?
I enjoy playing music. And,
I know that.
That's...
You also hate bad music, don't you?
Yes, I hate bad music. I hate bad anything. I hate bad movies.
Yeah.
You know, I hate bad people. But music, I think, transcends all of that. I think music appeals to everybody at every age, and I think it's something that's beneficial to the world.
But you once caused quite a stir in my program, I remember, at the height of the Osmond craze, by saying that you'd like to stamp on little Donny Osmond's head. And you're not repentant about what?
And he's still got a little head.
Yeah.
So, I have very strange feelings about that kind of music, if I can call it that. At one time, about 10 years ago, we played Nashville, which is the home of rock and country music, Nashville, Tennessee. And the opening night, I was asked by the press what I felt about country music, and I gave some terrible answer. And on the following day, the owner of the club, we were playing a place called the Exit Inn, and we got a call that they had threatened to bomb the place if I showed up that night. Most of the country people were offended by that, not realizing how many people they offend by the music that they play.
Why don't you like it?
What is it?
I don't know. You tell
And
me.
how can you like it if you can't hear it and you can't see it and feel it? I don't understand it. It's not real to me. It's not really country music. It's not really the folk music. It's popular bad music.
But what do you
The
think?
cowboy hat.
What do you think then are the prime reasons for this sort of lack of musical taste? I mean, is it people like who've done a DJ's job, like Kenny's done in the past? I mean, are they the people who promote this stuff?
For what kind of people would listen to him anyhow?
This man is finished in the business. I want
Thank
him
you
out.
for that.
He's got,
Which one was he pointing at, Ben?
he's got very good musical taste, actually, as our Kenneth.
I know it is.
Is the taste, generally speaking, of audiences improving, though? I mean, as you go around, you find that more young people are coming to
Very
your
definitely.
band concerts. Yeah.
Very definitely. When we're touring at home, most of our work is involved with colleges and high schools, and the people that come there are very early 20s. And the strange thing about it is that when I first started the band in 1966, and everybody was concerned about the success of a big band since the rock thing had taken over completely in the music business, I decided that I thought it was time for a change. And since big bands weren't happening, it was time for a big band to happen. I took the band out on the road. It met with very little success the first time out. As a matter of fact, we played a hotel in Las Vegas. I think we're the only band to be canceled opening night. That's the truth. We played the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. Opening night, the pit bosses came back and complained to the main man that we were making too much noise for the gamblers. That's the truth. And of course, as you can tell, the band is a quiet, very soft band. And lovely to dance to. And we were booked in for 4 weeks. They paid me off, and we finished that night. And then we went on to New York, played a place called Basin Street East. Great success, and as a matter of fact, the very first time when we played there, Harold Davidson was in the audience, and he asked why I'd never been to England. I'd never been here before. And I said, nobody's ever asked me. He said, well, I'm asking you. We came over here about 6 months later, the first tour, and we opened, our very first night was at Fairfield Hall in Croydon. and I was anticipating a huge success. You know, I thought the records had been big over here. We had about 300 people in the audience that seats about 3,000.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed and decided to give the best possible performance that I could give. And by the time we would finish the tour, which was 4 weeks later, we were sold out.
Good.
And it's been that way ever since, and I just can't thank the audiences enough. It's been marvelous.
It really has, yes. You in fact, it's alleged that you can play a percussion thing on anything at all. You can play on it.
Absolutely, as long as it's a drum.
As long as it's a drum. Well, Roy, what's this thing that you've got, this theory you've got?
No, well, when you get somebody it's in you, isn't it? The rhythm is there, and it's whatever it is, the real feel is there, isn't it?
Wrong.
It is. What do you mean wrong? You're trying to ruin this thing.
Go ahead.
You could play anything, really, couldn't you? Were you a knife and fork drummer?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Have you got any change on?
You know I've got some change, because you... Here we go. Have I got change?
Right.
Whoa, have you
Look
got
at that.
change?
Okay. Right.
Whoa,
Now,
look at that
see
man change.
Look at that. All 2p. Look, all of them. So that it looks as if he's put a lot of change in tomorrow at church, right? Have you got 2 fivers, anything like that?
There you go.
Now you just need a couple of sticks.
Am I going to play it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I need some sticks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I get a pair of sticks, please?
Here you are.
Thank you very much. Right. What do we do now?
It's a sort of... Go.
Thank you.
It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it.
That's what gets you long.
You can try hard, it don't mean a thing. Take it easy.
Isn't this silly?
But it ain't what you do, it's the way that...
Where you going?
Come on, it ain't what you do, it's the way... Come on now, it ain't what you do, the way that you do it, that's what gets results. Right. See, it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. That's what gets results.
Yeah, man.
Ain't what you say, the way that you do it. Ain't what you say, the way that you do it. Ain't what you say, the way that
Can you improve on that, Mr. Davis?
But ain't what you do, it's the way that you do. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do. Ain't what you do.
Now, you didn't know about that, did you?
No, sir. That's a surprise.
That is a surprise.
Me, man.
Well, he rang us up this morning and said, my good friend is on the show. He said, I'd just like to come along and say hello.
I love him.
So there we are. Yeah.
Well, the first time that we were together on the show with you, 2 years ago, we were at the Palladium.
Right.
And it was such fun, and we had such fun on the tour anyway, and I love this man. And then, of course, Roy, I've known for going back to the Pigalle days.
Oh, yeah, that's
The
right.
Pigalle.
Right.
Pigalle, first time here. And this gentleman I admire. I don't know him quite well enough, but I...
He's very passive at the moment. Yes. It's all in the best possible taste.
That's what you call a soft shoe, then.
I heard what you did to my friend Lionel Blair. I just...
He loved it. He loved it.
He's still there waiting for more.
That's amazing. What are you doing over here, Sammy?
I came over to just starting a tour again. We open in Amsterdam on the 13th, and I had some extra time. And I actually came over to find out what was going on with Richard and Elizabeth. And,
The never-ending saga.
yes, we don't get enough information at home. No, I actually came over to see some chums. Brought my wife over so she could go shopping, and I could just see all my buddies. I had no idea that this man... Do you know what a legend he is?
In his own lunchtime.
Oh, please.
Speaking of lunch.
When did you in fact first meet him?
Well, it goes back to the back in the old days, because I'm 56, and
You are?
you know, us guys, we don't show it.
Don't show it, right?
But we go back a long ways, and then when he first got the big band together.
Excuse me, you remember the first date?
No, I
that
don't
we played?
remember the first date.
The Golden Gate Theater in San Francisco.
Oh, that's right.
The Will Maston Trio featuring Little Sammy.
Really?
That's the truth. It was my first band. This was it was a long time ago. Yeah. And that's when we first met. He used to come out at the finale of his dad's act. You did the Danny Kaye impression.
Yep.
Right? And then danced. And when he danced, that was it. Nothing else after that. It was great. Yeah. One of the great dancers of all time. Yeah. He doesn't do it too much in his act anymore, and I'm mad at him for that.
No, I started dancing.
You never should have stopped, man.
I never should have stopped?
You're one of the first 1,000 dancers.
Good. So are you going to do a little music number with him, do you think?
I don't know if...
Do I do one with the band?
Yeah, but I don't know any of them numbers you play.
That's all right. They don't either.
We forgot about Roy and his trumpet.
Yes.
It's all right.
You ready?
Once you started, I
Just
thought I'd leave them to it.
play something from here and we'll sing. We'll all sing. What can you...
Let's get the dog first.
Let's get the dog first.
Get the dog first.
Yes, jazz came up the rhythm.
It did. I like it.
You play this as well, didn't you? I heard you play that. No, Mick Jagger plays that, eh?
Can you play an instrument, Kenny?
The gramophone.
The gramophone. Do you ever want to have a band, though, or be... I mean, I know you are very musical.
I used to take violin lessons when I was very young.
You
I
really?
thought it was really great to play the violin, but the thing that put me off it, apart from the hideous sound that was coming out of this box, was I'd be at the Roland School of Music, South Road, Liverpool, squeaking away, and there'd be kids walking down below on their way to the Odeon to see Flash Gordon Saturday morning. And there I was with this heinous din. Flash Gordon seemed better than...
Yeah, right. A good plausible alternative. How many instruments do you play, in fact, Roy?
Well, I once set a record of playing 43 different ones in 4 minutes, continuing one tune. But there's a chap, now do you believe this at all? There's a chap claims he's played now 75 different instruments in 2.5 minutes. And it's in the book, it's in the Guinness book.
Why what?
Well, he just couldn't warm to one.
What? I just said he's crazed. Yeah.
I knew it had gone somewhere. I've been missing that, you know.
Yes, you felt naked without it, no doubt. Have you come across his shows in America, Sammy?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Oh, you've got that treat to come there.
They're on NBC at 2 o'clock on Sunday morning.
That's big time, is it? Good. All right, so on with the tour.
Yes.
And all the best with it. And
Thank you
Sammy,
very
are you
much.
going to be here in this current tour that you're doing, starting in Amsterdam?
No, I don't. I don't appear this time. I'll probably be back near the end of the year. I hope to come back and do something. In the meantime, I just thank you, and I'd like to thank your staff for really putting all of this together so I could surprise my friend and say hello to another friend.
Well, it's not too bad.
Hopefully make a new one.
Oh,
He's gone all silly, hasn't he?
silly.
He's gone all silly.
Silly little boy.
Yes. Well, it's nice to be rung up by Sammy Davis Jr., so can I come on the show, eh? Good. Can't be bad. What? Pay attention, Kenneth.
Sorry.
Now, we're
Tell you
going to...
something, after the show tonight, after seeing this gentleman here, there'll be about 300 drum kits for sale in the papers tomorrow.
301.
It's true, is it? Pardon?
301.
301.
We're going to end tonight with some big band jazz. And I suppose one of the most requested ones that you get to play, one of the sort of classics in your repertoire, which is the West Side Story Suite.
Yes.
How long you had this in your...
About 15 years.
About 15 years.
Yes. We still get more requests for that than anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, fine.
Want to hear it?
So do I want to hear it? Do we want to hear it?
Oh, you joke.
All right.